proud of the fight of the team. It was a 60-minute game. We believed the whole time. We fought. We talked a lot on the sideline about our plan and trying to wear them out. D-line wise, I thought they played extremely hard. They've been doing that all year. We had a hard time getting push early on. And then I thought our defense played great in the first half. The return in the first play of the second half was the first and second play, really. The return they got called back, and then the return that they had was obviously a huge momentum swing. And what you got to do if you're going to be a good team, you're going to have to overcome some of those things, and we did. Proud of the defense for making that stop at the end. It was a huge one. Ali was all over the quarterback and put Plitt in some uncomfortable situations. We covered. They had to check down even on 4th and 10. And we did a great job of running the ball. And we ran a ton of different run schemes to try to find the right one that's going to work. And we knew John was going to be able to run it a little bit. I didn't know it was going to be this much. I didn't know the plays would hit as big as they did. But he read ends well. They loaded the box. We had to add another blocker, or sometimes it's just reading a guy, and that's what we ended up doing. And he made some big plays. Bells was good early. I thought he was speed reading a little bit in the third quarter, calmed down. We knew, just kept telling him, hey, be patient, it'll hit. And when that kid's in rhythm, he's as good as you're going to see. So he caught fire in the fourth quarter, and we were able to take the ball down the field when we needed to.
Questions? You got Bellamy ball 6 times in a row. That put you up 20-24. What was going through your mind as you were kind of deciding what you're trying to run on that 4th and 2 play in particular?
The drive 28, the one, not the last one, second to last one. The biggest thing with him was we were just trying. They were doing a good job. They were overplaying certain plays, which put them in. I don't know if you guys saw the little pitch play. We ran a lot early, and then they overplayed that, and we were. It was a little bit of a chess match. They were overplaying things. They got their free safety involved in the fit, which was cover 0 basically there at the end, and that one we decided to just build a bigger shelf on the backside. I thought John did a really good job of using his RPOs. I know some of them we missed a huge block in the third quarter. Sky Moore had the guy squared up, just whiffed, or we had probably had a first down on that one, but yeah, I thought we put the 2 tight ends on the back because I thought it was going to help us get him back behind it, and the great one is on his touchdown run on the 4th and 1, 3-by-1 upset. We arced the tight end just to try to pull the inside linebacker out of there, and we finally got him in the A gap. I mean, we've been trying to get him in the A gap all day, and he squirted one through. I think that was the final touchdown, but. Yeah, I mean, we knew we had timeouts. We had enough time to run the ball. We had them worn down. They don't rotate D lines like we do, and we knew that would play out. Just want to have the guys have faith in our plan, and they did. They still. I mean, we didn't throw much. We still had over 500 yards and a little bit non-traditional way, but we got the job done.
Coach, I know there's more season to go here, but 2 years ago, Central rallied and beat you, and that kind of changed the course of that season. Tonight, you guys win. I mean, can you compare the feelings of walking off?
I compare this game to last year's game against them more than anything. It's just the way it was a scoring fest, back and forth, and we held the ball for 42 minutes last year, and tried to do a game a lot like this. I think their defense is much improved. They're running a different scheme than they did last year, so we had to earn it more running the ball. We ran for more this year than last year, but we had to earn it, and but we couldn't get a stop last year. We kept scoring against. So to me, it's more. I was thinking about last year's game and say this is very similar. We talked about from the get-go. We have to keep scoring, and we'll get a stop. We know they're good on offense. I mean, they're number 2 offense in the league, I believe, in most categories, and we're number 1, and we knew that. Another reason to run the ball. Keep Plitt on the sideline, as much as possible, and so yeah, I thought about that. Like, this is a very similar game, I think we went to overtime last year, 31 or something like that. So it was very close, very similar, but we got the stop this time, and so it just shows the growth. They didn't get down. They gave up some ugly drives, where they got the run game going on us a little bit, and when we needed them. We answered the call, which was we weren't able to get that one stop we needed last year, and we got it today.
10 of 16 on third down, 2 of 3 on fourth down. Obviously, there were several big plays throughout the game. 3rd and 17 to Jalen Hall. Where does that one rank?
Number one to me, I mean, we were, I don't want to say scared. You're never scared of anything. You're just trying to be strategically aggressive. That team over there, both of our defenses are tops in the league in taking the ball away. And we took 48 hours of watching film, and I didn't see but like one turnover. And I'm like, what is going on with this team? Well, I know they have all these turnovers. And then we finally got the third down game planning, and we got the 3rd and long. And it was like 24 plays and like 10 picks. I mean, it was unbelievable how good they are on 3rd and long. And I don't know if you noticed early on, I mean, they get in there, all linebackers in the game, and they're dropping and doing stuff. And it was huge for us early on. We just ran the ball. I mean, with 3rd and 7 run, 3rd and 9 run, 3rd and 10 run. But we had some design plays for gotta get it. Now, we didn't want to have to get into those gotta get it, but that's our best gotta get it play. And it worked exactly, like we hoped it would. And John throws that one well. I mean, we were in the middle of camp, and we put that play. I kind of brought up, like, he throws this well. Do we need to put this in? And we've hit a bunch of big third downs on that one. And we got a couple other ones that are similar. But we had that play designed for if we're going to try to go get it. But most of the game, we were running it on 3rd and long. I mean, you don't know who's dropping. You don't know who's doing what. I mean, they have a great scheme. They've got 9 or 10 picks on 3rd and long. And so I thought we did a good job of getting the one we needed to get and then trying to stay out of many of the other ones, or at least running the ball and getting into 4th and short and going for it. I just told him I was proud of him, for fighting. To keep fighting, it's hard. I mean, the momentum swings back and forth, especially after that opening kickoff. I mean, a lot of teams could have folded. A lot of defenses could have folded. A lot of offenses having a rough 3rd quarter. I mean, we had a 3-play stretch where, Bells gets outside and ran out of bounds, shouldn't have done it. We ended up in the 3rd and 3 when I thought he could have cut back. Next play, Jalen Moore takes a bad first step, gets beat across his face. We lose a yard, and then we get a bubble, and we miss a block. And we're doing it to ourselves. We're just not getting. We weren't executing. And at that point, first half, I thought we executed fairly well on offense, and so everything, wasn't looking good. And I always say you got to believe longer than the other team, and I thought they did. And there's a lot we can fix, but you're playing the team that's number 1 in your league, and you're going to have to do something great at the end, make some big plays. And I don't know if you saw John's block. Did you see John's block? It's one of the coolest things I've ever. That's like my favorite play of my college career. I blocked once, and I got a guy, which I blocked him low, and you're not allowed to do that anymore. But John got out in front in the reverse, and there were a lot of big plays made today. And John made a lot of them. And we had that debacle at the end of the game we had that play dialed in. Only me and John knew he was pulling that last one. We'd been talking about it all game, like, hey, when we need one, don't tell anybody. Just tell Bellamy that you're pulling this thing, but there's nobody left. And we needed a first down, and we got it done, and it was huge.
You guys seem to be attacking them on the edge, early on, especially in the first half. Was that part of the game plan to just kind of get outside and use your speed a little bit?
Yeah, we wanted to get the speed. We wanted them to run. I wanted their D linemen to run. They don't have a lot of twos, and we want them to run sideline to sideline to sideline to sideline to sideline to sideline, and then start creasing them inside more and more. And so yeah, we got outside. They started overplaying it, which was good. They stopped us a couple times on the little pitch play that we were running effectively. Second half, we came out and ran it out of 2 different formations, so they couldn't make the same adjustment that they were making in our 3-by-1 open set. So we got a couple more swings at it because I knew they were going to take it away eventually, which opened up a couple more other run schemes we didn't have in the game plan because they started giving us a different box than they had shown us. And so we started checking into a run play. It's the one that's normally in the game plan, but it just didn't happen to be in this week, and we ended up hitting a couple big runs on it because it really became a little bit of a chess match. So I felt like we could get a little push on them because early on we weren't getting beat. We just weren't getting the push that if you give Bells a little bit of space in front of them, So yeah, we wanted to work the edges. We wanted to read some ends and let John get on the edges and make them run. And we got to be better in the passing game. I thought John missed some throws. He had Sky deep. He needs to put it outside. He had Gio running down the field, put too much air on it. Could have just dotted him with it for a touchdown. So still some things we got to work on. But we had a plan coming in of what we wanted to do, and I thought we executed fairly well.
And then you guys were in a couple fourth quarter games, early in the year with Eastern and Toledo, ended up on the losing side of that. winning side of this one, does it kind of feel like an over the hump moment, you know, in the season?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, a lot of it's just staying calm and continuing to play. You know, I keep telling them, play till they turn the scoreboard off. I wish I could build a huge billboard on the sideline that we can't even see what the score is. Just keep playing, because so many things can happen in the last minute of a game. Even with them, with a minute left, it was. I mean, they have all the ability in the world to go down and score in a minute. You know, so we still needed to make plays. Now it helps when you know they're going to throw it. You know, obviously we were able to stand our. I mean, Coach Espo, they stood him up. We moved him around and let him not know where the double teams were going, so we could get Ollie one-on-one and put that spin move on. I don't know how he didn't fall down, but got Plitt uncomfortable, you know, and he does a great job of just flicking it towards somebody. So those all ended up being incomplete passes, and I thought they were just as good as sacks in my eyes, you know. But yeah, it was a big moment, and hopefully we'll learn from it, and we'll be in other situations like this, and it'll help us grow from it.
Their ground game was significant in the second half. Were they throwing any curveballs?
No, I think we misfit a couple of them. I mean, they run counter as good as any team. I mean, we know they're a running team. I mean, Plitt's really good, but they run the ball. I'm sure people would tell you in our league John's really good, but they know what we want to do. So I thought we did a good job of chasing some plays down in the first half better. They did switch it up, and they started cutting our backside three. But we have to do a better job. You know, the aggressive part with them is you know, when do you want to put pressure on? If you look at Plitt's big plays, it's when you blitz and play man. I mean, the guy's good, and when you man them up, they're pretty dynamic outside. So we were doing everything we could to stop the run in zone, which is hard. And but yeah, they did. They got that counter going pretty good. They capped us out twice. They caught us in a corner blitz once and got inside of it, you know. But we got to go back. We got to be better. We're not going to shut a great offense down, you know. But we got to played a great first half, and did obviously a great job at the very end of the game, which was enough. But we got to continue to get better.
Through that last touchdown you had.
Last game, senior night, I just think we wanted to leave it all out on the field. God willing, you know, we played an amazing game, and we came out with a win. Jariga made a great block. It was a nice arc block by Giovanni Ricci, and it just led to a touchdown.
You guys dominated the first half on the ground, slow in the third quarter. What was said after the third and fourth?
Stay patient, you know, stay the course. I don't think our job was to, you know, go away from what we've been, you know, what the game plan was. I feel like we just going to stick to the game plan, you know. At times in the game, you're going to have tough sledding, and that happens. You know, like on defense, you can bend but not break. I feel like just because things aren't going right, it doesn't mean you just go away from what the game plan was. We stuck with it in the fourth quarter, you know, same game plan, and it worked. So.
You got 6 carries in a row to cap that scoring drive to put you guys up 24. Last one came on 4th and 2. You took them from 16 yards out. What was going through your mind as you know, you were just getting the ball and play after play there?
Going through my mind was, I knew we needed to win. I knew we needed a touchdown. I don't mind putting the team on my back, you know, if it's needed. I know the O-line does that all the time for us. So 4th and 2, I noticed that I would bounce a lot. I bounced because I liked the one-on-one matchup I had with number 2, the Mike linebacker. And I bounced and I realized that, you know, he couldn't hang. So I did that a couple times. It got us about 4th and 2. And on that play, I seen them go outside to take away the cutback. So I just went up the middle. Jariga made a great block. He pancaked him. Touchdown, Levante Bellamy.
Seniors taking care of seniors.
You guys have lost a couple of games like this, you know, in the fourth quarter with Eastern and Toledo. What were you guys saying on the sideline to just kind of instill confidence in each other that you could pull this out again like you did?
There wasn't much to be said. I feel like we all knew, you know, what we showed up to do. We don't lose at home. That's just how we, you know, that's just our swagger. We don't lose at home. So we put our best foot forward, you know, and we stepped on the field and we played. We was very confident in our abilities. I don't think for a second that anybody on the field thought that we were going to lose this game. No matter if the defense was scored on or not, you know, they played a great game. And, you know, we came away with the win. I don't think anything that happened shouldn't have happened. You know, I feel like everything happens for a reason, and God put us in that predicament, and we came out with a win.
The hours the hours you've put in, I mean, thinking back through the years, for it to come down to that scenario on the field, I mean, what's that emotion like when the whistle finally blows and it's over and you guys win?
I feel like you think back to the days when it was hard, the days when you weren't playing, the days when you was watching, Dravion Franklin, Jamari Bogan, Leo, guys that came before you was watching them do the job that you knew that you could do, but also by being selfless, you have to understand that, you know what I'm saying, you do have to wait your turn. And, I learned that if you want to be great, you got to learn patience. I was very patient with my time. I went through the injuries. I let it burn a hole in my heart to be on the sideline in the boot and a sling and watch, other people do a job that I knew that I could do selflessly. And over time, my chip turned into a boulder. So when I go out on the field, I just make sure I leave everything I have out there, no matter who we play, no matter what game it is. And what you'll learn to see through tonight's game and a lot of other games is sometimes, and I do mean sometimes, the little man will win.
Were you all surprised by John Mossing showing the wheels there to break off that 60-yard run and the 47-yard touchdown?
I wasn't. I noticed that, they were – so the DN for Ball Stables, he was coming hard. He was coming hard to try to – he made sure he took away the cutback. The mic would hang over, so I knew if John pulled, he had a chance. And all he had to do was make that one guy miss, and he was out to the races. So he should have scored on 2 of them, but, we're not going to talk about that.
You take back the NCAA rushing touchdown lead. Is that how does it make you feel to know that you've got 19 right now and you're the nation's leader?
It don't make me feel no type of way. I know what I'm capable of. Everything I do is through my old line, so I feel like if I have 19 touchdowns, they have 19 touchdowns. I can't run on my own. I can't do it on my own. I need receivers. I need the O-line. I need John to hand me the football. So I feel as if my 19 are their 19. So if I got 19, you add mine to whatever John has passing, and he has 30-something touchdowns total. I could care less if I had 2 touchdowns. As long as we win the game, that's all that matters to me.
By definition, this was not a must-win game for winning, the MAC title or being eliminated from the MAC title. But it was a game you certainly could not lose in terms of losing your, controlling your own destiny. Was that on your minds, going into this game, and is that on your minds right now, now being in control of your destiny a little bit more?
No, not really. I feel like if you go into games, thinking ahead or thinking about, what if we lose? I feel like your chance of winning are slim. I feel like you go into every game as its own game. Last game was last game. Whatever I did last game should be put in the past, and we should move forward. So I feel like for this game, it was just, you go out there, you put your best foot forward, and if you come away with a win, it's a win. If it's a loss, then it's a loss. But at no point is it like, if we win this game, we'll be in control of our own destiny or nothing like that. That should be irrelevant, I feel like, in everybody's eyes. I just feel like, you practice the way you play, So if you give 100% effort in practice on game day, I think it'll come out the same, and then you'll get results like this.
In this situation, to finish 6-0 at home, to stay in the race, what does this win mean to you guys?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a do-or-die game, especially with them only having 1 loss in conference and us already having 2. So pretty much every game from here on out's do or die. And, that makes it a lot of fun, though, too. It's really fun.
You guys obviously moved on from last year, but that game, that play, the 2-point conversion that came up short, leading up to this game, whether it be this week or all season, how much did that play a role, or does it at all?
Yeah, we talked about it a little bit, but ultimately each year's different. You got different players, possibly different coaches and things like that, and you got to go out there and execute no matter what happened the last year. So. We probably had a little bit of a chip on our shoulder from what happened last year, but ultimately we just had to go out and play our game and go get the win.
When you were looking at him on film, did you see something in their defensive ends that kind of told you that you might have some opportunities options if you kept them as the options?
Honestly, watching the film, a lot of times the zone reads were a lot of handoffs to the running back on film, especially against a couple of the teams. But each zone read play, you have to take it independently, regardless of what's happened in the past. And so they seem to be bending down to the running back quite a bit tonight. So that mean I had to pull it and run. So, but later in the game, they kind of sat, and Bellamy scored on one or two zone read plays where the defensive end just kind of sat there. So I just had to take each play independently and read that guy up each time.
On Mixon's touchdown run there, you kind of got up in front of the play, and you're a lead blocker. Kind of you knock one of their defenders to the ground. Where did that come from?
High school.
Yeah, I don't know. I haven't really had. I think that's really my first time lead blocking on a reverse this year. I was just pretty glad that I stayed up and I didn't get knocked to the ground, and I think he fell. So, yeah, it was kind of fun.
Everyone wants to talk about the fourth down touchdown that Levante had to give you guys the lead, but that third down and 17 or whatever it was to find Jalen, how big of a play was that for this game?
Yeah, that was a big one. Especially, I don't know if it was on first or second down, but we had that sack that put us behind, and that was a big moment in the game for sure. Jalen made a great effort after he caught the ball to get the first down too. That was a big play for sure.
You seemed pretty reluctant to climb up on that ladder after the game.
I was trying to hide.
What's that moment like, though? I mean, to come out with a win.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Yeah, it was. I was hoping that if somebody else would kind of jump up there, but as soon as they were calling my name, I was like, yeah, I'll get up there. It was a lot of fun. It's pretty cool last home game. It really hasn't sunk in yet. I don't think it will until after the season that it was the seniors' last game at home, but it was a lot of fun.
Had you done that before?
I did that 2 years ago. Yeah, I didn't want to do it again. But I toned it down from 2 years ago. I just kind of stood up there and.